Hey, welcome to Killer Hope, live from the Sundance Film Festival, and I'm about to talk to Lake Bell, who is here with her short film, Worst Enemy. Hello, Lake.
Hi, how are you? That was a good intro, I like that.
So this is your first film, this short, and what made you decide that you wanted to jump from one side of the camera to the other?
I was a closet writer. I'm like totally been a closet writer, so I'm coming out. This is my coming out party, basically, because I really
Always
do.
trying to steal our thunder.
Look, I'm sorry, but this is my time, okay? No, I mean it. Like I had been writing, and I felt like, God, I don't want to be like a actress / something, you know. And I was kind of getting hung up on that, so I secretly did it. And then I had a script that got some interest, and I thought, God, if I could only direct, you know. My dad is in business, he's a real estate developer, and my mom is a designer, so I have these, growing up with sort of a business-minded family, but also an aesthetic sort of very deeply ingrained in me. I was constantly, and then me being kind of involved in storytelling on a day-to-day basis, and what I do and what I love to do as an actor, those kind of things, all those things melded together, and I thought, God, I'd really like to direct, so. And in full disclosure, I had a script that I have a script right now that I wanted to star and direct, that I wrote. And I thought, I wouldn't trust me directing this if I hadn't, you know, done something else. And traditionally, when I'm writing and I come into a block where I'm like, I hate this, I don't like it, and I don't know what the fuck to write next, I turn elsewhere, and I'm like, all right, well, just to make you jealous, I'm going to talk to this person over here, and I start writing something over here. So that's what happened with this character, Wooly.
Got it.
And then my director said, my agent said, why don't you direct that Wooly thing you've been working on? And so I took that character. It was just a bunch of sketches and ideas, like that person, like an extraordinary person in ordinary situations. Right. And then I kind of compiled it together too.
Was it really? I mean, was it a huge change to be on that side?
I think yes, it's an incredibly big change. I think that the lesson that I learned is, you know, actors are not that important. You know, they're you know, I'm like
saying that for years. Yeah, no, I really haven't.
They're important for their job. Right. You know, it's like we're there, and when you're there, it is your job to be focused and think you are the most important thing there, because you have a job of delivering and being alive. If you have to improvise, listening, or knowing your lines, you know, showing up, you know, that's your job. But what was so interesting is really respecting that it's like when the actors aren't there, it's somebody else's moment to be the focus of attention. And working with actors was really exhilarating for me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, just because I felt like I knew what I wanted to hear, and I wanted to enter it from a different way.
And it must have given them a comfort level too.
I think so. I mean, I was working with people that I like personally as well, and that I admire their work. Michaela Watkins, obviously, just doing a masterful sort of like tragic comedic depiction of this person, and I don't know. I trusted them, but I also really felt that they trusted me and knew that I wasn't going to make them look bad, that we were going to try to make something that tonally wasn't sketchy. It was going to be a movie. It was going to be a film. And I wanted it to feel filmic. But
Well, I was just going to ask you if this was your first time at Sundance.
It is, yeah.
So
I've always wanted to come here, and it's been, obviously, in this industry as well, there is this like mystical kind of thing about Sundance, you know, like, when am I going to get invited to Sundance, or will I have a movie in Sundance, or what will I wear to Sundance, you know what I mean? Those are the important questions.
And this is what you
decided?
decided?
This is what I mean, I worked really hard on this. So, oh, really? I could have done better? Oh, God. Yesterday was really good, for the record. I had a great premiere outfit. Okay. It's all about layers, characters and clothing. So when I always had that in the back of my mind, like, when's that going to be? And I can't think of a better way to be de-virginized from my Sundance experience.
Absolutely. So. I was actually on the shorts jury last year.
Oh, really?
And it was a fantastic experience. I saw 84 movies. And really, I'd say 90% of them were really good.
Right.
And even the 10% that I would say weren't so good, I knew why somebody else thought they
Right,
were.
right.
And I mean, the variety of work that they show, that Sundance shows in the shorts programs is extraordinary.
And I agree. I had so much fun watching the other shorts in my block because they are so diverse. And what I think is refreshing about short films is you get you are exposed to so many different tones. Right when you thought that all tones had been exhausted, you really get to see in different tones and different genres.
Right.
Just like bite size of those things, and I find that inspiring, and also I was very happy to be in a group of people in a group of shorts block where I felt like I was the only one of my kind. They were very respectful in that way. So
absolutely, I always say the audience has more tolerance when they're seeing a group of shorts because they're like, if I don't like this one, there's another one. Right?
Yeah.
So
I got like 2 more minutes.
That's fine.
Totally. I feel that way as an audience member, don't you? I mean,
absolutely. So we want to talk a little bit about social media on this show, and I'm wondering if you use it actively to try and find your audience, especially with a short film, which obviously has different challenges to getting out into the world.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're very cognizant of, and what are you doing about it?
Well, firstly, I mean, in producing my short film, I self-financed and then turned to Kickstarter for Kickstarter.com for
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. Great.
Yeah. So I raised my post-production money on Kickstarter, and within 3 days, I had met my goal. I should have asked for more. That's my big regret in this whole thing. Was it was surprisingly user-friendly and really accessible. And I don't know if it's just like the interface or the way it's made. It's just really smart. There's a goal system, so you can see as you build your goal.
Right.
For me, I think that's the first time I've used an interactive site that way, and certainly to create something so personal that means so much to me. Strangers could be involved in that, and that's a way to. I actually initially didn't want to put it on Twitter to say, hey, go check out my Kickstarter page. I felt like, I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted,
But did you?
What happened was Ashton Kutcher, who I know I've done 2 movies with, I sent him a personal email saying, hey, man, could you check out my Kickstarter?
Right.
And he didn't reply. All he did was tweet.
To his gazillions and gazillions of followers.
So here's me like, I
That's
don't want
awesome.
my, few $1,000s to like not.
Right.
And then, so that happened. And the interesting thing about it and the lesson that I learned is that not one person donated, not even like $5 from his tweet. So a lot of people reacted to it, but nobody actually went. And we were talking about it, that to actually raise money via Twitter is virtually impossible. Like nobody pulls the trigger. It's just about being involved, but it's not about actually, it's very difficult to raise money that way.
But then what about in terms now, so you're going to debut here, and then what's going to be the life of the movie after the festival?
I mean, that remains to be seen a little bit, but I think that because there's so many online channels.
Right.
I mean, I did a web series. It's now a real series, but Children's Hospital, which started as a web series. And what was interesting about that was that it turned into a real series on Adult Swim.
Right.
So with that in mind, there is hope on the web, and frankly, people watch it. So if
Maybe this will turn into a real series.
Look, it can happen. But I'll talk to the people at Adult Swim. I'll see what I can do.
Why don't you just, tweet your buddy Ash?
Yeah, I'm going to tweet. I'm going to have Ashton tweet about it. It'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll do it on Kickstarter. I'll produce it. It's fine. But I feel like, at least there's a life for these kind of things.
I mean, there's so much more of a life than there used to be. And really because, because of all the, not just because of the places that you can, actually put your short up that people can download, but the fact that there's all these different ways to bring people's attention to it.
Yeah, totally. I think you're right on that, and I think short films traditionally have been solely a calling card for, hey, this is me as a director or a filmmaker. This is how I do it, and it's still, I feel that way about it, but it's it's now also becomes a nugget of artistic, it becomes of something artistic that I can show to a wide audience online. But,
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck with Worst Enemy. It's a really great movie.
Thank you very much.
Take
I
care.
appreciate that. Let's shake
Handshake.
on camera so that they think we're really friends.
Exactly.